Did you know that over 18 million homeowners in the United States are considered to be house poor, according to an analysis by LendingTree? As the cost of home ownership continues to rise across the country, we're starting to see a theme where savers could potentially jeopardize their retirement. Over the last 12 years, I've had the opportunity to work with hundreds of families on their financial and retirement plans. And today, I'm going to speak about 6 pros and cons of a strategy that I think can help you avoid having your money locked in your home, which is downsizing in retirement. Before we jump into today's video, I'd like to ask that if you find our content helpful or you enjoy listening, please feel free to like and subscribe to our page. The first potentially positive outcome that I'd like to speak about today as far as downsizing in retirement goes is that you are putting money directly back in your pocket. Larger homes tend to come with larger expenses, whether it be a larger mortgage, larger taxes, larger utility bills, or larger maintenance. These are all examples of costs that could impede your ability to save and don't necessarily provide a great return on investment. Downsizing, in many cases, can help you potentially slash the cost of living, which, in turn, could help you do productive things, such as saving more money in the bank, investing more money over time, or even just using that extra money to do other things that you enjoy. Important key to note here, although downsizing in retirement could be a hit to some egos, I've never heard somebody at the end of retirement say that they wish they had kept their larger home. The second potential positive outcome of downsizing in retirement is something that might not come to mind initially, but also is pretty important, and that is freeing up your time. A quote that is near and dear to me goes something like this: "Time is your most valuable asset, because once it's gone, you cannot get it back." As you may know if you've owned a house for a while, there are a bunch of potential unknowns that could come up over time, such as a leaky roof, a broken pipe, a broken appliance, whatever the case may be. And the fact of the matter is, these type of things do come up and they can take up your time and derail you from your day. In addition, they probably also will add to a level of stress. Downsizing could potentially lead to less of these headaches. Less home or less property could potentially lead to less issues. I've actually heard in many instances, living somewhere like in an HOA or a community provides a great lifestyle, as you don't need to worry about certain things as far as maintenance is concerned, such as shoveling snow. The third potential positive is one that I see to be predominant in the decision-making process, and that is similar to my last point in, again, having less stress. There are a variety of different factors that we see lead to this decision based on the person or people involved, but some of the themes that we see commonly occur are the fact that you could have more freedom, less chores to worry about, or again, even more time just to do the things that you enjoy doing. As with most decisions in life, there are also negatives to weigh out here too. The first one I want to talk about, as far as a negative outcome that you could face, is something that you should think about prior to making any moves, and that's the fact that you could have substantially less space. After years and even decades of living somewhere, you might have accumulated a bunch of stuff, whether it be tools in the garage, clothing, articles that you keep in the closet, or even stuff in the kitchen that you haven't used in forever. Coming to grips with the fact that you might have less space for storage over time is something that you're really going to need to think over and understand clearly what you want to keep and what you need to keep. The next potential downside to be aware of is something that I've seen time and time again and can add up pretty quickly, and that is the fact that there are multiple costs associated with making a move. Moving can be expensive when you take into account all the different things occurring, whether it's the cost of actually making the move, the cost of buying storage space or renting storage space for your stuff that you can't fit in the home, or even the costs associated with the real estate transaction itself. Setting an expectation and budgeting can help you feel mentally prepared and not get caught off guard when going through this scenario. If you need a little help or something to solidify your budgeting, check out our expense analysis worksheet in the description below. Another potential downside to be aware of, and one that I find to be most intense, is the emotion involved in leaving the home. You might have built up years and years or even decades of memories in the home, and leaving that all behind can be very hard for some. In having these conversations time and time again, different folks form different memories. Things like the hardships and struggles that you had to face when you first moved into the home to pay the bills, watching family and friends hit certain milestones over time that you associate with the home, or even just all that you had to go through to keep things together. The emotional sense of pride and identity tied up in one's home can be very difficult to overcome. But shifting your mindset to embracing all the good and all the amazing times that you had there can help you to overcome this feeling and move forward. When considering a move like this, we've often discussed with families that we worked with how to finance the situation. Check out our next video here on holding debt in retirement.